My organization skills really evolved, improved, because I needed to organize my course to fit outcomes for every week.
If I had tried to do the podcast development at the same time as the other development, it would have killed me. As it was, because I was doing the podcast at the same time that I was teaching the course, I would pretty much every Thursday night, I guess it was, I'd be at my office until 3 a.m. Doing the next week's podcast lecture, because they take about 35 hours of prep per hour of presentation. Now, that won't be true of everybody, but I'm a perfectionist. I decided that I wanted my voiceover PowerPoint to have snappy animations that were very well, that is to say, the words come up as I'm talking about it, bullet point by bullet point, and I didn't want to be umming and ahhing. So then I realized I had to write out the script word for word for the podcasts, and so that's where all those hours go. But at the end of the whole process, I've got these recorded lectures, which frankly last for years and years.
In terms of the skills needed to teach online, I think you really have to be aware and understand instructional design, generally speaking. So really having a clear sense of how to design a course effectively, I think in a face-to-face setting really translates into the online setting as well, because you really have to think through, given that you're not seeing students face-to-face, you're not having the same kinds of interactions, you need to really design those things in. So I think developing the skills and abilities to engage students in an online format, so whether that's via online discussions or activities, et cetera, is really important.
There are definitely skills that I've developed through online teaching. The biggest skill that I developed was instructional design, and it's really impacted my face-to-face teaching as well. Sort of storyboarding the course and coming up with a project plan, coming up with set learning outcomes that were directly linked to assessment.
Learning how to be more creative, learning how to adapt some of the materials that I've used before, thinking about which tools will better facilitate interaction, better involve the students or motivate the students. So I'm just learning how to be trying to think about what the students want or will enjoy.
I think it's really important to always keep in mind that you're moving back and forth between the pedagogy and the technology. That you have to look at the technological methods and tools that are available and be aware of them, and then assess them and see if they fit in with the pedagogy in terms of the strategy that you have for a course.
In a reflection on pedagogy and teaching, I had to think about my transferable skills rather than learning new skills. You know, pedagogy online, e-pedagogy is just pedagogy with an E, right? So you need to think about what's transferable. And I learned that I had some skills in the classroom that could be migrated online, such as expertise of the field, knowing the primary and secondary sources for looking at an event. I'm teaching history, I'm teaching Canadian studies. Also knowing how to help the student make sense of things, how to assess. So these are skills that I had in the classroom that were just migrated online. So what it means is creating activities that I could assess online, creating platforms for students to ask questions online on a timely manner.
My understanding of the importance of pedagogy and planning has certainly developed because I've started teaching parts of my courses online. The kind of move to taking material online and assessment online has forced me to think more deeply about my pedagogy and has certainly required me to plan more in advance, but also more in depth.